ago, the German Chancellor Merkel was asked, are you a feminist? She did not answer this question directly. Maybe you remember, it was a very funny moment. She said something like, well, I agree with many things in the feminist movement, but I wouldn't call myself a feminist. Why is, for people like Chancellor Merkel, so difficult to call herself a feminist? What do you think?
I think she's not a feminist. And I think it's very difficult still. I think it's one point is because she's from the east of Germany, and that's another tradition that was not using feminism as it was also something of an elite project, I think. And also it's difficult for her because it's not that popular. Yeah. And she would reject some of her voters, I think.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
I think the funniest thing in that situation was that Merkel was like asked this question by Miriam Meckel, who's like a very well-known professor, and the partner of Anne Will, who's like one of the most well-known moderators in German television. And then she asked all the others on the panel. There was Ivanka Trump and Lagarde, and one more person, I can't remember who was there. Yeah, but the funny thing was that Ivanka Trump was the first one who said, like, I'm a feminist. and Lagarde said the same, which is probably like more easy to understand, but so the interesting thing is more, you know, what do they think what a feminist is today, you know, and what were all those people thinking? And then they asked the question, like, to all the people in the room, and they were all like women, like this was a discussion in preparation of the G20 summit in Hamburg, and it was done like the invitation was done by the most important German companies, like the very wealthy companies, and so there were like only women like from economics and companies management in the room, and they all called themselves feminists. They raised their hand. And so I think we should have an eye on that, because Ivanka's and Lagarde's hand were even more interesting to me than the answer of Merkel, which I could have expected.
Yeah, but this is exactly what I meant with this liberal feminists that are now coming forward and have sometimes seemingly very similar ideas. But